Avatar Meher Baba
Meher Baba
Baba
ki
ki
jai.
jai.
Avatar
Avatar
Baba
Meher
Meher
Baba ki
Baba ki
jai.
jai.
Avatar
Avatar
Meher Baba
Baba ki
Jai.
Jai Baba to all of you. You can hear me properly. You can hear me. Thank you. Thank you. And I would start. We have a very heavy rains in Pune. In whole of Maharashtra, our state, there are very heavy rains. In fact, in another some of the other states also, throughout India, it has been very heavy rains this time, and especially in Pune, there have been uh, very big floods and landslides, and then collapsing of houses, water clotting, and all that. There have been several such incidents. We have faced it. But then I was reminded of the year 1961. The year 1961, that was the day which we can never forget in our lives, because half of the Pune city was washed up in very heavy floods. And believe me, Meher Baba was then in Guruprasad. The month was July, and the date was 12th of July. So July month, right from June, July, August, September, we have rainy season in India. But that particular year in 61, an earthen dam was collapsed because of very heavy rains. And a very heavy flood. All that muddy water was coming through. First, it was taken up in some other dam, which was lower to that, just to restrict the fast flow. But then that other dam also was to be broken up, because the pressure was getting more and more on that dam, and had that dam been broken, the whole city would have been flown off. That was the situation. And in the morning, Baba was in Guruprasad, very much in Guruprasad. This is a July month. Baba used to be there for right from April, May, June. So July month was there, and Baba went early in the morning. The river is very close to Guruprasad. It is a walkable distance. And Baba, along with Francis and Erich, they went to the near that area, that river. Baba dipped his feet in that river. There is a bend. There is a bend. There are steps down, going down. The level, the ground level is high up, and there are steps going, touching the river. And Baba went down abruptly, because nobody expected that Baba will do such a thing. And Baba went and dipped his feet there in the flowing waters, and then came up, and then they returned to Guru Prasad. And thereafter the flood. My God, what a sight it was! I was working in a office which was very close to the river, and the warning was given to all of us that we should vacate the building immediately. And we vacated the building. While vacating the building, the water level was up to our waist.
Oh, no.
So, so it was a horrible scene, in fact, in this history of Pune city. And many houses were collapsed and many people died in that, a very nasty time for Pune. So I was reminded of that time. Anyway, that is gone now. What I think today is, I will take some of the stories about Dr. Ghani because we are approaching to the main subject of Baba's meeting in the new life on 16th of October 1950. But before that, some of the funny stories have come to my mind, and I am going to tell you about that. The stories are focused on Dr. Ghani, of course, and we can just know from these that how what type of relation Dr. Ghani had with Mir Baba and Baba had with Dr. Ghani, what type of relation they had together. One incident which happened uh, in Mehrabad, perhaps, mostly in Mehrabad. Long time I had read this and I heard these stories from Dr. Ghani himself. So long time it had happened in Mehrabad. Baba was often going on tours, bus tours, and for the arrangement just after Baba leaves Mehrabad, for the rest of the people who were resident of Mehrabad, some arrangement was to be made for them and for their food and all that living in Mehrabad. And Baba had appointed Aga Baidul as the manager. Baba had appointed Aga Baidul as the manager. And Baba goes away on bus tours. And here, everybody is under the charge of Aga Baidul, a very wise person. Have you seen? Have anybody seen Aga Baidul? He was a very sturdy person. Very sturdy person. Now, Baba had said before going, Baba said that I am giving different responsibility to different people and to provide food. Aga Badul is the manager. And any one of you, he shows economy in spending money. I'll be happy with that person. This suggestion was taken very seriously by Aga Badul, and he purchased heaps of pumpkins. Heaps of pumpkins. For breakfast, it is pumpkin. For lunch, it is pumpkin. For dinner, it is pumpkin. For Monday, it is pumpkin. Tuesday, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All every time they were fed with this pumpkin. And all the resident Mandali were fed up with this, fed up with eating this pumpkin. Now it was a strict orders from Mir Baba that nobody should complain against anybody. This was another problem for them. How to complain against this man who is make us eat this pumpkin every time for all this day. And they were so very fed up and what to do now? How to complain? Baba will be displeased if you complain against him. So they approached Dr. Ghani. They requested Dr. Ghani, Doctor, we are in such a difficult situation. You have to find out some way to save us from this situation. And Dr. Ghani he was also undergoing the same situation. But then directly he could not complain to Baba. So what he did is he composed a song. He composed a song to be sung before Baba. The beginning of the song was मेरे बैदुल ने कोला पकाया है आज. My Bidul has cooked pumpkin for all of us. Aga Baidul no kola means pumpkin. So he has cooked pumpkin for all of us. And the qualification here they have given to Baidul is our dear Baidul has cooked this pumpkin for us. That was the wording he had used. And when Baba returned from a long journey, and Baba was inquiring with the people, sitting with the people, they were gossiping. And then Baba asked for some singing. Baba asked for some singing. It usually used to be like that. So Dr. Gani, he asked one of the kawals, a kawal by name Babu Rao. He used to be there in Merabad. So he was taught this with this song beforehand, and that person started singing the song. मेरे बैदुल ने कोला पकाया है आज. And Baba was surprisingly listening to this song. What type of song it is? And he asked people, what type of song it is? Baba, Dr. Gani has composed it. So that blame comes on Dr. Gani. And Baba says, what do you mean by this song? And then everything was revealed to Baba that this was the situation was created before us by Aga Baidul. Now, had we complained against him, you would have been displeased. So we have found out this way by through singing. We should put before your and Baba called for Aga Baidul. Ask him what these people say. Is it true? What wrong I have done? You told me to economize our expenditure, and that is why I have done this. And Baba said, "You fool! These people are getting lose motions because of feeding them with this pumpkin." And then he visited that room where heaps of pumpkins were stored for feeding these Mandali people. And Baba asked Akabedra to throw them away, throw everything, every all that stock which he has stored there. Baba asked him to throw it away, and he had to throw away. So that was one incident which was very funny incident. But another incident was somewhat a serious type of incident, and I do not exactly recollect as to where it had happened. Must have been either in Toka or I was searching for the time, Mir Baba's time in Bangalore, but I don't find it there. It must have happened in either in Toka or Ravuri. Baba had, as you know, that Baba had ashrams in Toka and Arahuri also. What had happened is that Dr. Ghani has complained to Baba, Baba, what type of life we are passing here in the ashram? I have been with you for such a long time, but still then, I don't have any powers of performing miracles. After spending so much of time with you, we are where we had started. We are at the same place, same spot where we have started. No progress in our personal lives. No progress whatever. And I am fed up with this sort of life. And then Baba suggests you want to have some powers, powers of perform miracles. Yes, I promise you. I promise you. I will give it to you. Do one thing. Remove your clothes, apply ash to your whole body, go and sit in the burial ground. Sit there, and if people approach you, pick up some ash and give to them. Whatever they come for, their promise will be solved, or their desires will be fulfilled. Only by giving dash ash with your hands, those people will be benefited in whatever way they want. And Dr. Ghani, this is something very, very strange method that Baba had proposed for Dr. Ghani. Dr. Ghani's temperament was not suitable for such a life, and Dr. Ghani said that sort of thing, getting naked and sitting in that burial ground, and then giving ash to the people and solving their problem. I don't want that realization in this way, with this method. What I want is like what is his name? There is one community, Khoja community, and the chief of that community, Aga Khan. Aga Khan. I want a life like Aga Khan. Aga Khan is the priest, the chief priest of that community. And what life he is leading is like a king. He is sitting on his throne. This is what Dr. Ghani used to describe. I want that type of life which Aga Khan has lived. Aga Khan was living then. I want to sit on a throne. On one side, there is good non-vegetarian food being cooked in a very big vessel, and on the other side, one beautiful dancer, is dancing before me. That type of realization I want. That type of God relation I want. Not these going in this mashan, going in the burial ground and sitting there and naked and giving that ash to people. I don't want that sort of a God relation. I want God relation like Aga Khan. that type of life I want to have. And then Baba very seriously said, "Oh, that also I can give you, provided you fulfill the conditions which I am laying down before you." And what were the conditions? The conditions were the condition given to Dr. Ghani were he has to remain on milk for 3 months. No food, no water, only milk. He could consume milk as much as he wants, but nothing else. And Dr. Ghani was in such a violent mood that he said, "Yes, I will accept this. And you have promised me, now you will give me that realization, that God realization. If I complete these 3 months condition, you will give me God realization." That you have agreed. And both were very serious. Baba said, "Yes, I'll keep my word. If you fulfill this condition of remaining only on milk, I will fulfill my promise that I will give you God relation." The challenge had come to that extent that Gani said that right from tomorrow I will be starting this. But you should never disturb me. You should never disturb me. You should leave me alone. Because you have a very bad habit of teasing me. You have a bad habit of teasing me. You should not do that. And I will go on fast from tomorrow. And very seriously, he has started observing fast only on milk. For morning breakfast, milk. For lunch, milk. For evening tea, no tea, milk. For night dinner, milk. Milk. From, from morning to late night, it is all milk. And so much of milk was provided. Whenever Dr. Ghani wants milk, he will, whenever he feels hungry, whenever he feels thirsty, this milk will be provided to him according to Baba's instructions. And Dr. Ghani, this was described to us by Dr. Ghani himself. I was a witness when he has described this whole episode before young people of Pune. And then Dr. Ghani says that in the beginning, I could carry on with this milk. But thereafter, I started feeling nausea about milk. The moment milk comes before my eyes, I will feel like vomiting. But then there was no other go. I have to survive. And reluctantly, I would be taking milk, even for quenching my thirst. Even for that, I will have to take milk. The thing went to such an extent that Ghani was losing his temper. He was losing his mood. and he was not able to talk nicely with all his colleagues, all the other Mandali members. He used to get immediately used to lose his temper and get very angry very soon because of that consuming only milk and milk. And the stage came to such an extent that Mandali people were avoiding to go near Dr. Ghani because his body was smelling like milk. Dr. Ghani's body had started smelling like milk, and people were avoiding to go close to him. This went on. He could complete, not complete. Very few days were left. About 2 weeks or so were left. Until that, Dr. Ghani, because of his desperation, he continued for just 15 days were left for 3 months, completion of 3 months. And Baba started teasing him. In the last month, Baba started teasing him. Whenever Ghani comes before him, Baba goes before Dr. Ghani, he will say, Ghani has become so very weak. Ghani has become so very, his face has gone very, 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 very weak. And God knows what will happen to Dr. Ghani. With these words, Baba would just express pity on Dr. Ghani. And Dr. Ghani used to get very much upset. He had already told Baba that don't tease me. And here Baba was all the time teasing him very often, expressing pity on his state, on his condition. And when there were simply just about 2 weeks were left, Baba staged a very strange drama. What was the drama? Baba called all the people, all the Mandali people, and declared before all of them that Dr. Ghani is living on milk for more than 2 months, 2.5 months. Now there is no guarantee about his life. He is going to die. That is Baba is declaring before all the other Mandali members that Dr. Ghani is going to die now. So they have all to prepare for his funeral. Baba is asking all the Mandali to prepare for the funeral of Dr. Ghani because he is not going to survive now. He will die. And somebody goes to the Qazi. He invites the Qazi to perform the last rites. They brought a, what you call it, a box where the body is kept. What is it called? There is some word even in Christianity. There is
They call it coffin.
Sorry, coffin. Yes,
Coffin.
you are right. They have purchased a coffin and placed it there, and all the Mandali members, they had gathered together to see the funeral procession of Dr. Ghani. Now, God, Dr. Ghani is very much alive. But then Baba is preparing for his death. But then a very strange gesture Baba had done. Then that whole coffin was kept there, and the prayers were recited by that Qazi. And then Baba himself lied down in that coffin. Yes, Baba himself lied down in that coffin for a few moments, and he came out. And then coffin was closed, and it was taken in procession within that compound, and it was buried. Dr. Ghani thereafter was asked to break his fast, to which he also agreed. And now the interpretation what Dr. Ghani used to give to us is that Baba has transferred a life. Perhaps Dr. Ghani would have died, but then Baba had himself went there, lied down in the coffin, and then it was closed and it was buried. So, by that gesture, Baba had given more life to Dr. Ghani. That was the explanation which Dr. Ghani had given to us. But this was very serious, serious incident in Dr. Ghani's life, and we had heard this incident from Dr. Ghani himself. Now, coming to Bangalore, some funny incident had happened in Bangalore. Some Parsi fellow had come from somewhere. Had stayed with Baba in Bangalore for some time, and he was non-vegetarian food because he wanted to improve his health. The 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 dramas which were being played in Baba's ashram, they were really funny at but then through all such dramas, Baba was having his own way of working. So that Parsi fellow wanted to improve his health, and he was provided with non-vegetarian food. And Dr. Ghani complained to Baba that, look, the tigers and the lions, they are non-vegetarian. And that is why they are very strong. Whereas the bulls, they eat grass, but they are not very such courageous and such strong. Bulls are not so much strong and so much courageous. Whereas these tigers and lions, they are very courageous, very daring, because they eat non-vegetarian. Then what Baba says is, what about elephant? Elephant is vegetarian. Elephant doesn't take non-vegetarian. Still, it is very strong, very courageous. What you say? What you have to say about elephants? Dr. Ghani had no answer, and Baba says to Dr. Ghani, "You become like an elephant. You grow your stomach like an elephant, so that your big head will be balanced with your big stomach." That is what Baba tells Dr. Gani very funny incidents. One more incident which I will take for today. We know that Dr. Gani had come into trouble in Lonavala. When he was in Lonavala, there was a money lender, and Dr. Ganesh was kept with that money lender, and some loans were taken on that property. There were some few houses that was in Lonavala, and some quarrel in between. This amount was delayed in payment. Dr. Gani was unable to pay that amount within time, and the money lender had taken that property, seized it, and there was it was to be put to an auction, and Dr. Gani had a quarrel with that money lender, and unfortunately he had a very strong quarrel with that, and then that man was killed by somebody, and that blame came on Dr. Gani, because just before that there was a very hard quarrel in between these two, and then Dr. Gani had gone to committing a suicide, taking liquor in a plenty, and he went there in Lonala on a dam, on a dam to commit suicide, and then Baba abruptly came from somewhere, and then he stopped there at that dam and picked up Dr. Gani and took him to Mehrabad. And on Baba's witness, Baba had given a witness that when this happened, Dr. Gani was with me in my ashram. Dr. Gani's life was saved. That is the story. Now, thereafter Dr. Gani was facing a court cases against him because the doubt was there still. And for that hearing, Baba was in Bangalore. For that hearing, Dr. Gani had gone to Lonavala for hearing of that case, Pune, for hearing of that case. And ultimately, after the court heard the case, court acquitted him of all the charges. The charge was of murder. Yes, the suspicion was on Dr. Gani because just before that they had a quarrel, and naturally the first suspect came on Dr. Gani. So court found they didn't find they found Dr. Gani was not the person who had killed that. He was given he was acquitted from that charge of committing a murder, and very happily for about a week or so, for about 10 days, Dr. Gani had gone to the court. He had appeared in the court, and here he is acquitted. And in that happened, and his property was restored to him. His property was restored to him, and in that happiness, Dr. Gani wanted to give a party to all the Mandali people there in Bangalore. Now, all the Mandali were gathered together, And Dr. Gani, in a very happy mood, he had given this tea party. But then, before starting the tea party, Baba has given a small talk there, a small message there. That is, I have taken that the original message is very beautiful message, and in Baba's own words, I had noted down here, and I'm going to read it before you. It's very interesting. 6th March 1940, Dr. Gani gave a tea party to everyone in the Mast Ashram. He was acquitted from the charges of murder and was getting his property back. This is the main purpose. Observing Gani, Baba explained to the Mandali. Now here Baba says, this is a unique occasion. Gani is in my contact for the last 22 years. Baba said that Gani is in my contact for the last 22 years. He used to tell me, prior to my spiritual benefit, that is what Dr. Gani used to tell Baba, prior to my spiritual benefit, do something that will benefit me materially. Dr. Gani had once said to Ban Nathu in Mehrabad Ashram, in Hindi, what Dr. Gani was said, I have not only come for Khuda, I have come here for Khurda also. Khurda means coins, money in coins. That is called Khurda. So I have not only come for Khuda, I have also come for Khurda. So here the same expression is there. Do something prior to my spiritual benefit. Do something that will benefit me materially. That is Dr. Gani tells Baba. And I did that something. I did that something which made the Gani's material life worse. I did that something which made material life worse and worse day by day. Dr. Gani has asked Baba to do something for improving his material life, whereas Baba had done that something by virtue of which that that material life was worse. Though I told him then his worries would be lessened to some extent. That is the what Baba had told Dr. Gani, that your worries will be lessened. I will do something, worry will be lessened. Gani's position was as if, it's a beautiful Baba says, Gani's position was as if stranded between third and fourth plane. That is Baba says he was put in a very funny, stranded in a very funny position, as if stranded in between two planes, third and fourth plane. It was so funny beyond words. He was constantly in a dazed state of mind. To my questions, he used to give vague answers. I told him to leave everything to me. I told him to leave everything to me and do as I say. Don't write. I told him. Baba had told him not to write. No sooner he goes out, then he writes wonderful letters to friends saying, I am doomed and would have to meet a very unhappy fate. That is this type of letter Dr. Gani used to send to his friends. I just repeat it. I told him no sooner he goes out, then he writes wonderful letters to friends saying he is doomed and would have to meet a very unhappy fate. Later on, Gani lost all hopes of his material worries, getting lessened. He lost all hopes. But this murder proved a blessing in disguise. That is what Baba explains. This murder has proved a blessing in disguise for him. The properties which were lost, he is getting back miraculously. So for the first time, Gani is feeling that some of his worries have lessened. That is by Baba. So he is giving this party today. And the party was enjoyed by everyone there in Bangalore. See the relationship between Mir Baba and Dr. Gani. It is true that Baba didn't Dr. Gani to settle in his material life. Somehow, by some means, Baba was taking him out of his material life. He had made use of Dr. Gani for his avataric work. In New Life also, Dr. Gani was not inclined to join Baba in New Life. But then Baba never told him directly. But he had given suggestions through somebody that Dr. Gani should be there in Baba's New Life. Perhaps maybe reluctantly, but ultimately Dr. Gani agreed to, said yes to that option which Baba had given to all the Mandali people. He had to say yes, and he joined Baba in Baba's New Life. Had a very hard life, right in the very first stage of the travel on foot, walking on foot. Few miles from Nagar, Dr. Gani had the first heart attack, and he was asked to rest for some time, and then the travel was resumed thereafter. Baba was very serious about his new life. So the personal worries of people, he was not in a mood to listen to them. That was the new life which Baba had led. And these people had to adjust themselves with the conditions of the new life. It was really, if we study in detail about the different stages of new life, a person like Dr. Gani was not very strong. How he must have felt. There were other people also, others also, aged people like Shetty Patil. He was elder to Baba. He was the first president of Pune Center, Sadashiv Shilke. And then Anna Jakkal was there. She was quite old. And these people were there with Baba on New Life. So next time we'll be coming to the description of that meeting which Baba had held in Mahabaleshwar exactly after 1 year, after complete 1 year of new life. Baba had called for meeting in Mahabaleshwar, and fortunately I was present in that meeting. I had a opportunity to be present in that meeting. So I will describe as I have seen it. Lately I have read in one of the books published lately that the meeting was held in the Florence Hall, which is wrong. It was held in a stable, horse stable. Yes. So next time I will deal with that in details. So for today, I will sing one small ghazal and then I will read out the meaning first and then sing the ghazal. It's a beautiful ghazal. Before I sing this ghazal, as I have told you earlier, that there were two very famous singers in Bombay. Their names were Shankar Shambhu. One was Shankar, another was Shambhu. The meaning of both the names is Lord Shankar, Lord Shiva. The meaning of both these names is Lord Shiva. So the Shankar Shambhu was very famous pair of ghazal singing in Bombay. And once in Guruprasad, after the program was over, usual program was over, Sunday program, Baba was sitting in a Mandali hall, then few of us were sitting around Baba. And I had ventured to tell Baba that, Baba, this Shankar Shambhu, they are very famous singers, and I hope you would like their singing. And Baba said, yes, is it so? Yes, yes. So Baba asked Kisan Shah Gajwani, who is a businessman, to invite these two brothers, Shankar and Shambhu, for next time. And they were brought there. And while they were tuning their instruments in a Mandali hall and in the Darshan hall, there is only one wall, one door in between. Baba asked me and Madhusudan to sit with them. They were tuning their instruments. Baba asked us to explain to them as to what type of songs Baba likes about this love, divine love and the worldly love. Ishke Hakiki and Ishke Mizaji. Ishke Hakiki is the divine love, and Baba used to like Ishke Hakiki. When I started, Madhustan was keeping quiet. He was never talking. But I ventured to talk with them, telling that how many people, how many good singers have entertained Baba. And one of them was very egoistically told me that, no, you did not take all these things to us. We have made such number of programs. You did not tell us all these things. And then when he said so, then we both came and said before Baba, took our seat before Baba. And Baba said, why you come back? Have you not told him? I said, Baba, I tried to tell them, but that person has said that I need not tell them all these things. They are very much in know of all these. And then I thought that there is no use of sitting there. And then Baba said, let them come. And the first song they selected, they spoiled Baba's mood. The very first song. Anyway, after Baba disposed them off within three songs. He took out his handkerchief, wiped his face, and then gave them as a token of his love. But then the financial side was looked after by Kishore Chand Gajwani. And when Baba came in the Mandali hall and sat there, we all followed Baba. And Baba said, what type of singer you have brought? You are talking so much high things about these people. I said, Baba, they have a very big name in Mumbai. Baba said, one of them, his voice was very good. But what type of song they have chosen for singing before me? The first song was, oh, I spread my jolly before you. You fill up my jolly and all that sort of a thing. And Baba didn't like that, and then Baba disposed of them. But this song, which I am going to sing, it was sung by one person by name Mohan Saigal, a very simple person, very poor person, very, I mean, financially also very well. He was working in a press, printing press, having a very meager salary, maintaining his family. But he came before Baba. He was a very good singer. His his voice was similar to a very famous singer in the movie field. That is Saigal. Saigal was a very great singer, and this Mohan Saigal's voice also was matching with that voice of that great singer Saigal. Saigal was a very big name in the Indian movie. Now when he had come before Baba, he had sung the song which I am going to sing it now. Before that, I will just tell you the meaning of the song. It's a beautiful. तसव्वुर में महफिल सजाते सजाते सहर हो गई है उन्हें आते आते. In my imagination, this is the meaning I am reading. In my imagination, throughout the night, I have been again and again thinking about the assembly of friends with your special presence. He is telling the beloved. But it is dawn now, and yet you are not turned up. He is complaining to his beloved. We are waiting for you. You are not turned. We had promised that you will be coming in the evening, but that evening has not arrived yet. You have broken your promise. Next stanza is शबे गम कटी किस तरह ये न पूछो सितारों से बातें बनाते बनाते. Do not ask me how I have spent the night of grief, full of agony. I have been gazing at the stars and conversing with them throughout the whole night. That is my pastime, because you have not turned up. And for me to spend time, I have look above in the sky, talking with the stars. सवर जाएगा ये बिकड़ा, गुजर जाएगी ये जिंदगी काश यूं ही किसी बेवफा को मनाते मनाते. Perhaps this whole life will pass in the pursuit of placating my beloved who has been unfaithful to me. Next time, सवर जाएगा ये बिगड़ा मुकद्दर, जरा एक नजर देखना जाते जाते. My misfortune would be transferred into and get set right if you just give a passing glance at me. मरी जे मोहब्बत में दभी तोड़ा बड़ी देर की मेहरबा आते आती. The long suffering, love stricken patient, that is the poet, has just breathed his last on my merciful, oh my merciful beloved. You have delayed your arrival for such a long time that lever has already passed off. पयाम अपनी कश्ती जो तूफान से खेले वो डूबी किनारे लगाते लगाते. Payam is the poet says, the ship of my life has been struggling in the stream. It was capsized and could not reach the shore. That is the ghazal which I am going to sing now. तस्वीर में महफिल सजाते सजाते तस्वीर में महफिल सजाते सजाते शहर हो गई है उन्हें आते आते उन्हें आते 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 उन्हें आते आते तस्वीर में महफिल सजाते सजाते शहर हो गई है उन्हें आते आते उन्हें आते आते शबे गम कटी किससे न पूछो शबे गम कटी शबे गम कटी किससे न पूछो अब न पूछो किसी बेवफा को सितारों से बातें बनाते बनाते शहर हो गई है उन्हें आते 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 उन्हें आते आते गुजर जाए जिंदगी काश यूं ही गुजर जाए जिंदगी काश यूं ही अब काश यूं ही किसी बेवफा को मनाते मनाते किसी बेवफा को मनाते मनाते शहर हो गई है उन्हें आते 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 उन्हें आते आते सब्र जाएगा बिगड़ा मुकद्दर सब्र जाएगा बिगड़ा मुकद्दर बिगड़ा मुकद्दर जरा एक नजर देखना जाते जाते शहर हो गई है उन्हें आते आते उन्हें आते आते मरीज़े मोहब्बत ने अभी दम तोड़ा मरीज़े मोहब्बत ने अभी दम तोड़ा अभिगम ही तोड़ा बड़ी देर की बड़ी देर की बड़ी देर की मेहरबान आते आते शहर हो गई है उन्हें आते 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 उन्हें आते आते उन्हें आते आते कोई हम अपनी कश्ती कयाम अपनी कश्ती जो तूफान से खेले तूफान से खेले जो डूबी किनारे लगाते लगाते जो डूबी किनारे लगाते लगाते शहर हो गई उन्हें आते आते उन्हें आते आते उन्हें आते आते तसव्वुर में महफिल सजाते सजाते शहर हो गई उन्हें आते आते उन्हें आते 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 उन्हें आते जय बाबा. This ghazal, that singer was a simple person, not very famous one, but then Baba liked him very much. Baba liked his singing very much, and thereafter he was again called for several occasions to sing before Baba in Guruprasad. So men with big name at times fail before God man, whereas very neglected persons, they have pleased God man in their own way. The whole thing revolves around your ego, self ego. If you leave it aside, then any art is acceptable by God. If you go in your own ego, then you are going to fail. That is the lesson one has to learn. And now today's session, I am very much thankful to all of you for the patient hearing. We have some beautiful stories about Dr. Ghani. So I would request to conclude the meeting with Avatar Mere Baba Kiji 40 times.
Avatar Meher Baba.
Ye Baba ki jai.
Avatar
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you so much. Wonderful stories, Pratapji. Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Baba. I always pray to Baba that if through these stories, if your love is filled up in their hearts, in the hearts of the listeners, that will be His Krupa, His Krupa. Jai Baba to all of you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Jai Baba.